Being at war is hard. The country makes a lot of effort to survive, to maintain its existence. At this moment, the government finds itself at the lowest point. This is the time when even the smallest effort will help. No matter what that is, a lot of things can be done. This is why we can ask ourselves, what can we do? How can we help our country at this stage of war? But first, let's talk about those people who will not do anything to help. These kind of people often think that the only thing they can do is to fight as soldiers. And because they don't want to do so, they will ignore the entire situation. They will continue to live as before. There is no war, at least for them, until they get bombed or receive another threat to their lives. Then they will just flee to another place. Even after facing the war, they will not join the struggle. But who will? All the people who can think and feel empathy, of course. I know that there is a lot of opportunities to help your homeland, besides the most obvious ways. Myself, I would do whatever I can to fight on. To me, there is no other way rather than fight. For me, my country is not just a bunch of people in charge. For me, my country is my people. My people is my family. And my family is the most valuable thing in my life. Because my family is a part of me. I shall put as much effort as I physically can to save the people and the country. The desire to fight for your country can be often described as a patriotism. Every patriot will put a fight in defense of his home. There is no country without patriots, as well as there is no castle without garrison to defend it. This is why you are obliged to help your state if you consider yourself as a true patriot and as a human being. Now, back to the main topic. The country at war means that there is a lot of soldiers who have to defend its borders. The army is the most crucial element of all of that, but it is not the only one. Sometimes you just can't enlist into it, because you physically can't and you know that there is a lot of valuable things you can do besides being a soldier. So here are the other elements. Let's talk about your government. Roads have to be functional, as well as the entire industry of electricity, water and heat supply. We don't have to forget about the entire administrative services and the entire healthcare. All of the above and many other things that I haven't mentioned need people to be functional. Due to the fact that many men will be drafted into the army, there will be shortages of workers. And that is the moment when you can help. Of course, not every profession will allow you to work, because it may need you to have a qualification. But when you can fulfill the requirements for the application, do your best to work as hard as you can. And yet, that is not all. Many companies outside the government's facilities will need to continue to operate. That will keep the economy alive. Taxes they pay will go straight into the war effort, as well as to the other crucial tasks. War should not stop the economy, as well as people, so they will have some place to stay, to relax from this hell. If you have a job that can provide both money for the government and help for the people, you may consider to stay at this occupation. Apart from those two elements, another important area is human support. The people in your country might have troubles because of the war, or they already had these problems that became unbearable because of this nightmare. I'm talking about elder and sick people, children and those who this way or another were left without any support. You can help them by joining teams that will provide them food, shelter, drugs and, most importantly, attention. The moral assistance matters as much as food and shelter combined. You must not allow these people to get despaired. Despair leads to defeat. For instance, you may just talk to them. Don't let them feel abandoned. That was the most obvious as well as fundamental actions you may do when you are located near the disaster. However, there are situations when you can't be nearby to do all these actions, no matter the reason. But instead, you may do these actions. You can bring attention about the war to international communities, agitate, spread the information about the recent actions, collaborate with those who want to help, start raising money to aid your country. Has it be ammunition for the soldiers on the front, or will it be crucial drugs for the sick, or maybe something else? Coordinate people, act. Doing nothing will not help anyone except your enemies. I might have forgotten to mention the other aspects that you can be a part of. I hope that you already know what you will have to do. Everything is entirely up to you. Only you can help your country, your people and your family. No one else can do that. The war can't be stopped, it can only be won. The peace cannot be negotiated. The only thing that we need is victory.